Hello everybody, welcome to the end of the week and Dark Side of Globalisation we're looking at this week. We had some great debates, thank you George and Julian, and I haven't responded to everyone yet, but you really picked the detail well this week in terms of the fact that trade and investment flows have really halved global poverty, or at least extreme poverty. That is usually people who live on less than US $1 a day. So since World War II, we've seen amazing economic development through increased trade and investment flows. And a lot of people attribute this to more peace in terms of the lack of large wars. Like if you look at US and China, for example, they've had their differences, but obviously going to war would cost a lot more than peace, so they have too much to lose. However, as we also know, there is a massive increase in civil wars and domestic strife inside countries. There's also issues such as corruption and global governance issues. So the benefits, I suppose, of economic development are not spread evenly, and certainly developing economies have a set of issues that developed economies don't always have to encounter. And also, I think when we just consider things like economic crises, like the Asian financial crisis in the 90s and what we saw in Europe and with the European Union, we have to acknowledge that the interdependence of the world economically also comes with certain vulnerabilities. And while that might not mean you have to go to the other extreme of closing the borders and saying, Washington consensus or everything is terrible about this sort of Western style economic growth, it's more a case of, if you were doing an essay on it, like it's one thing for this week's topic, but if you're looking into the essay, you might look at the conditions, what you might call the boundary conditions around which countries can actually benefit from increased trade and investment flows. So that's probably the type of nuances that we're looking at today. I think you've done a good job. Well done. You all pretty much got in your assignment too, so I was really pleased to see that, though I must confess I'm starting marking this weekend, but I'm sure you've all done great. You've been a really good group. This will also be a really good launching pad for assignment number 3. Yes, we will be having a collaborate session either next week or the week after, so the unit coordinator will be organising the timing of that, so that will be soon. However, you might note that it's going to call on similar types of skills to what you used in assessment number 2. So in the meantime though, jump on the Q&A in the discussion board if you really have burning questions and you're trying to start assessment number 3, but the collaborate will be really soon on that. And happy Mother's Day for all the mothers out there, and I hope that you get a day off and that you don't have to do work on Sunday. And I'll catch up with you next week.